All right, good day, folks. In this lesson, we're going to be creating a GUI for our roguelike, and we're going to be having it so that we update some scripts so that your sort of HP or food gets updated as you move around, as well as keeping track of how many levels or days you've progressed through. So let's do the GUI first. So we're going to go ahead and add a new component. So we're going to go here. I just did a right click. I'm going to say UI, and we're going to say canvas. Okay, this is going to add like the big canvas there. What we're going to do then is we're going to create an image. Okay, so underneath the canvas, we're going to do a right click, and we're going to say here UI, and then just image. Okay, if we zoom out here, we're going to see it. It's going to be a little, not a little, but it's going to be a smaller image. So let's select the image and then go ahead to these anchors here. We're going to then go ahead and press and hold Alt on our keyboard. That's going to be 2 over from your space bar. And you see how that sort of changes those menus. We're going to stretch the image out. And then as far as a background, we're going to set the color to black. So just click and drag there, okay? At this point, we're going to call this just level image. So let's do here. And I have, I'm going to have to refer back here a second to the screenshot I took, because these capital L and then capital I, level image, it's going to be important that we have the same names for these objects, because our scripts are hooking into very particular things. So we're going to be we don't have food text or level text yet. We'll eventually get there. These are just there as far as references so that you have the exact same spelling as mine. Okay, so we've got our level image created, and now we're going to go ahead and within our level image, we're going to add some text. So we go here to UI and then text. Okay, so this we're going to call level text. I'm just going to make sure that I've got the capital L and capital T. Yes. Okay, so level text. Okay, as far as the anchor point, we're going to go ahead and just press our Alt button again and then just center it. Okay. And for this one, we're going to say here, as far as our default option, we're just going to call this day 1 for now. For the font, we're going to select one of the fonts that shipped with the project. So it should be this Press Start 2A. And then our size, we're going to set to 32. We're going to then center it and center in both spots. And then we're going to set the overflow to overflow as far as horizontal and vertical. All right, so we've got day 1 right there. And that looks pretty good. Oh, we got to set the color, of course, to white. Because it is a black background, so we need something for it to be able to show up. Cool. And then, oh, I didn't put this to the right thing. Level text. There we are. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. So we're going to now make another text item. It's going to be called. It's going to be our food display. So let's go ahead to our canvas, and we're going to create another text object. In this one, we're going to call this food text. Let's make sure I've got that right. Capital F and capital T. Yes, good. All right, so food text. Now, this is going to be anchored to the bottom. If you've seen the completed game, you'll know where that is. It's just sort of anchored to the bottom. So let's go to our anchor, and we're going to do just this center bottom. And we're going to make some adjustments so that it doesn't so we can see all of it and so that it stays sort of on the screen. Let's set the size to 24, the color to white, and then we're just going to say here as far as the text, food 100, just as far as that's the starting values for this. The font, again, we're going to do the same font style. Of that 2P. And it kind of looks nice. It's got a little pixelated feel to it. And then we'll center it and all that kind of stuff. We also will then change the overflows to the appropriate overflows, both to horizontal and vertical overflow. And now we're going to go ahead and play with the anchor min and max. So you're going to have to expand yours here. So where it says anchors, expand that. And the min, we're going to set to as far as the y values, we're going to set it to 0.05, 0.05, okay? As far as our y position, we're going to then adjust that to 0. Okay, so now we've created these like text objects, and there's some scripts that are going to update these text objects as we kind of move around. One last thing. The food text needs to be not below our level image, how it is right now in the hierarchy. I'm going to have it appear like right below the canvas. So that it should go canvas, food text, level image, and then level text as a child object of your level image. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead to school, the G, all right, and then we're going to go ahead and update the player script and the game manager script. So let's go ahead and reveal these in the Finder, and we'll open them up in TextEdit. Okay, so our game manager is going to be in our TextEdit folder, and then I've got these things already in there. So I'm fairly certain I already did mine, but I'm just gonna, it doesn't hurt to copy and paste it again, okay? Now these are basically going to, and I have the link to the deep dive into this code right here, where they walk you through some of the code. But for our purposes, it's like, hey, what's the script? Where do we add it? And how does that work? So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that in, okay? And we're gonna do the same thing with our player script. Just go ahead to player, again, reveal in Finder, open it up in TextEdit, or if you're going to use an IDE, that is totally fine too, and just pop that in. Okay? Now, the last thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to our player object, and we're going to scroll down, and there is something here in the player script where it's saying, hey, there should be something, I should be hooked into an object. It says food text, because the player object is going to be the one that's doing the updating to the food text. So we're going to go ahead and where it says food text, we'll just click here, and you should see food text. If you don't, you can drag, I gotta lock the player and the inspector. You can just go ahead and drag that down as well. So let's just give it a spin. Hopefully it works. And there we go. So we've got day one, and then as we move, you can see here our food is decreasing. We also added something too in our script where if we find a food object, we're going to get a plus 10 food. If we find soda, that will add up to 20 food, I believe. The other thing too that we did add is if we die, so let's get hit by this guy till we die, it will say how many days you've survived. So that's pretty cool stuff. All right, folks, I wish you the best of luck. Good stuff.